Hi there, this is Kristen Brenner with another installment of Sattva Sunday. My goal with Sattva Sunday is to explore the ways that we can bring the nervous system back into balance using the tools of mindfulness, self-compassion, and embodiment. And so Sattva is one of the three gunas in yogic philosophy. These are the states of matter. Rajas is a very active, kind of seeking out state. Tamas is a very grounded, almost inert state. And Sattva is kind of in the middle. It is the state where we find clarity, ease, and wisdom. And so we need tamas and we need rajas to kind of be in balance so that we can be in the sattvic state. And I really love the way that those descriptions of the three gunas can help us explore the nervous system and what happens in our nervous system. And so that's what we're doing here with Sattva Sundays, just exploring these practices and how can we create a more sattvic, clear, easeful state for ourselves. So today we will be working with a meditation, and this is a meditation near and dear to my heart. It is one of the first practices introduced in the Mindful Self-Compassion 8-week series, and I am a trained teacher of that series. So the Mindful Self-Compassion series was developed by Kristen Neff and Chris Germer, and it is an 8-week program that is designed to really help us explore the skills and tools of mindfulness and self-compassion. So Kristen Neff is a researcher, and she discovered as she was researching that there are really three components of self-compassion. The first one is common humanity. We kind of recognize that we are all in this together, that we all have very similar experiences. Often we feel very alone when we're struggling, but the reality is that other people would feel very similar to the way that we do as we struggle. Another component of mindful self-compassion is awareness. So we're having this mindful state. We must first be aware of our experience before we can kind of do anything to change it. So this mindful awareness is a very important piece. And the third component is self-kindness. So this is where we're aware that we're in a state of struggle. We recognize that others would feel the same way that we do, and we give ourselves some kindness in that state. And so this practice, this is called the self-compassion break, and this practice is one that we'll do today as a meditation, but eventually the more that you're kind of exposed to it, it is something that you can just do kind of moment to moment when you're in a state of struggle. As struggle begins to arise, you recognize it, you do this practice very quickly, and it helps bring your nervous system back into a state of regulation. So today we'll be doing it as a longer meditation. So for this meditation, you can please feel free to find any comfortable position. You might lie down. You might grab some props and set yourself up in a restorative yoga posture. You can certainly be seated. I'm here on the ground on my mat, but you can be in a chair. You can be seated in your bed, wherever is most comfortable for you. So taking the time to find that comfortable seat for yourself, just adjusting, settling in. And then as you're ready, let the eyes close or come to a soft gaze in front of you. Just noticing that sense of settling into the body. You might feel the weight as gravity draws you down to the earth. Noticing the connection points, perhaps the soles of the feet on the ground, the sitting bones against whatever you're sitting on, the hands touching down, and perhaps awareness of the spine lengthening. Begin to sense the breath in the body. So just noticing how the breath feels in this moment. Awareness of the breath coming into the body, and awareness of the breath leaving the body. As you're ready, I'd like you to bring to mind a situation in your life that is difficult, that is causing you stress right now. It might be a health problem. It could be a struggle in a particular important relationship. It might be something that happened at work. Or it might be a sense of feeling disrespected because of your age, your ability, or another identity. So for the purposes of this practice, choose a problem that's in the mild to moderate range. On a scale of 1 to 10, we probably want to stay right around a 3 or a 4. So we don't want to work with a big problem as we're first learning these skills of self-compassion, because we can sometimes overwhelm ourselves, which kind of takes away from our ability to learn. So as you identify the situation that you want to work with today, allow yourself to see, hear, and feel your way into the problem. You want to do this to the extent that you actually begin to experience some of that uneasiness that you can feel in the body. So perhaps your muscles begin to tense. Maybe the belly feels upset. Maybe your head hurts. Just noticing, where do you feel it most in your body? And begin to make contact with the discomfort that you feel. And now say to yourself slowly and clearly, this is a moment of suffering. This is the practice of mindfulness. You might also say, this hurts. This doesn't feel good. This is a moment of suffering. And next, say to yourself, slowly and clearly, suffering is a part of living. This is common humanity. I am not alone. Others would feel a lot like me in a similar situation. Suffering is a part of living. And now placing a hand or two over the heart or any other soothing or supportive touch. Feeling the warmth of your own hands and saying to yourself, may I be kind to myself. May I give myself what I need. This is self-kindness. And you might ask yourself what quality of self-compassion you need right now, the yin quality or the yang quality. If it is a more nourishing, caring approach that you need, you might say, may I accept myself just as I am? Or may I care for myself tenderly in this moment? And perhaps you need a more active form of self-kindness, in which case you might say, no, I will not allow myself to be harmed in this way. May I have the courage and strength to make a change. And if you're having difficulty finding the right words, you might imagine that a dear friend or a loved one is having the same problem as you. What would you say to this person that you care about heart to heart without giving advice? If your friend were to hold just a few of your kind words in their mind, what would you like them to be? What message would you like to deliver? Now see if you can offer that same message of kindness to yourself. This is a moment of struggle, a moment of suffering. Suffering is a part of living. Others would feel just as I do in this situation. May I be kind to myself and give myself what I need. This is a moment of suffering. Suffering is a part of living. May I be kind to myself. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. So, as I mentioned earlier, this is a practice that we can do as a meditation, as we just did. And we can also begin to incorporate this into our moment to moment life, so that when those moments of struggle come up, which of course they will, because we're living a human life, we are able to turn toward ourselves in those moments rather than turning away. We're able to be there for ourselves and begin to ask ourselves these questions about, what do I need right now? What am I feeling? What do I need right now? What can I give myself in this moment? And the beautiful thing about self-care is that often the answer to that question is something so profoundly simple. A hand on the heart can be enough to make us feel cared for in that moment. A few deep breaths, taking a moment to notice the soles of our feet on the ground when our temper maybe is rising. So there are so many small, seemingly simple ways that we can turn toward ourselves as we struggle. And that is what self-compassion is. And the trick is that, of course, we just have to practice, because these things don't come naturally. They're not things that we're taught as children or young adults. And so as we begin to learn these skills, we have to practice, and we have to have these simple reminders of, oh, I have this other thing I can do this time to help me feel better in this moment of struggle. So it can be this beautiful practice and this way of caring for ourselves when we're struggling. So I hope that was helpful. Please reach out to me and let me know what this practice was like for you. You can reach me at Kristen@integritymindbody.com, and you can find me on the web at integritymindbody.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.